This learning object is a production of Abu Dhabi Men's College, Center of Excellence for ICT and Learning Technology.
Many teachers will give you a PDA grade, that is a personal development assessment grade, which is 5% of your total marks, from the organization, tidiness, and completeness of your binder. So it's important that you follow these instructions. As you know, your teachers will ask you to save the papers that they give you. So I brought different folders for you to look at. We have all these here in the college in the store, but you could find them elsewhere. Here's a very handy one with a lever. This clip here keeps the papers tidy. So that's one. This is perhaps the most recommended one that you should have. There's also this type with 4 rings. You could have that. The good part about this type is that you can insert a page that you printed with your name, your ID, and your section in case you misplace it. And of course, this is an English 0155 folder. Okay, you could insert it this way. And in case you misplace it, there you go. Okay, so that's a second type. Now this is the biggest type you might need. We have about 6 or 7 centimeters here. More than this is too much. You can insert your name here with a label. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to organize. Now, we have these things called dividers. We also have them in the bookstore. And these dividers, you can have them plastic, or you could make your own. The important thing is that you organize your binder like so. The first part, I recommend that you have vocabulary for any time the teachers give you a glossary or vocabulary of words that you need to study or to write. For example, this is a sheet for classroom expressions that you would use. Okay, the S means student. The next part that we recommend is that you have one divider for grammar. This is where all the rules are given, like how to use present simple, how to make questions. Here's an example of some worksheets from your workbook, okay? And this is mainly grammar. And as we continue, you see there's a lot of grammar. We're going to give you a lot of grammar sheets. Every now and then you will get reading sheets separate from your reading books. Why? Because sometimes the readings in your books are either too easy or too difficult. So we're going to give you readings that are adequate to your level. We will also give you some listening sheets or listening links where you have to go and practice. They will go after this divider. For speaking, we give you topics and also tips on pronunciation, minimal pairs, phonics. They would go under this. And lastly, we have writing. This is where you would put your first drafts or second drafts, teachers' comments, corrections, topics for writing, etc. You may have other dividers if you wish. You could have one for your tests or quizzes if you wish, but this is what we really want and require. This is what we're going to look like. Please remember that many teachers give you your PDA, which is Personal Development Assessment, out of the binder. They give you 2% or 1% of that grade from the organization and the tidiness of your binders, and that your worksheets are completed. Now, all of this you can find, of course, in bookstores. If you want to make things easier, you can use these little tabs to find your materials. For example, for grammar, in the grammar section, you could put one of these, like so, and that way you can find the grammar section faster. You can also buy these in any store or bookshop or stationery stores. Or you can even make your own with these labels. It's very easy. Just buy labels of any type, peel it, And then you can fold it. Let's say we want one for vocabulary. Just fold it like this and make sure it gets the front and the back. And then here you can write vocabulary. I mean, you can make your own tabs. Okay? Now, all the documents, to keep them free of dirt and tidy, we suggest we use these plastic sleeves. Okay? They come sometimes perforated with 2 holes or with 5. All of those are okay. And we also have these here at the store. What I'd like to do now is to talk about how to use a flash drive for English 0155. I have this flash drive here, and we're going to use it to reflect the same organization that we have for the binders. The main reason for this is that many times you need to do some work in a soft copy, not a printed copy. There will be links that you can go to, and it's easier to do in a flash drive. When you click on My Computer, you will get this type of screen. In your computer, if you click again, you get to see all the different drives. You should have a drive called Documents or Data. It is in this drive that we're going to create an English 0155 folder for all your different skills. Now this one right here, this is for the teacher. That's my own. Okay, we're going to create a new one for yourself. Okay, if you right click on Documents, you're going to see the following screen. Okay, after right clicking on Documents, you get to create a document like this. This is what we want. Okay? So, after doing that, right-clicking on English 0155, we need to create a new folder. That's what we want. Inside English 0155, we need one folder for each skill, another one for vocabulary, and another one for grammar. So, if you right-click on the English 0155, you create a new folder. You give it the name that we need. For example, we already created one for grammar. We created one for reading, one for vocabulary. This one could be for speaking or listening. And we need to create 6 folders. That's what reflects your binder. Okay? Inside some of these folders, if you wish, or if your teacher asks you to, you may have, for example, under speaking, you could have one folder for pronunciation and phonics, one folder for speaking topics. Okay? Inside writing, the same thing. You could create a folder for writing topics. Now, after you do all this in your laptop, what you're going to do is you're going to take this folder and copy it exactly as you have it in your laptop and place it in your flash drive. That way, you have portability. If we need to go to the library to do a special activity with CD-ROMs that are not available as a class set, you can still do your work because you have everything in your flash drive. Another important reason for us to have this organization both in the laptop and in the flash drive is because sometimes we need to have a listening activity, an independent listening activity like this. In this activity, if you did not have a soft copy, you would have to type all these links in order to go to a web page and actually do this activity. With a soft copy in Word, all you have to do is click Control and hold with the left button in the mouse, and it will take you directly to this activity without any mistake because the teacher already checked the spelling. You go directly to the activity in about 1 second, and you could start working. When that activity is finished, you could go ahead and go to the next one. Otherwise, you would have to type it. If you make the smallest mistake, for example, if this word pages were to be a lowercase p instead of a capital P, look what would happen. You would get this mistake. And if the activity has 4 links, you could make this mistake over and over 4 times. That's the importance of having everything in your flash drive and in your laptop. Now, eventually, some teachers may require that you prove that you finished the activity, so you might have to print it. And that printout will either go to your teacher or you can email it, and eventually it will come back to the binder under the type of activity that you did, in this case, listening.